We've all heard it, right? Exercise more, you'll sleep better. But what if the timing of your workout is actually sabotaging your rest? It's a super confusing conflict. Okay, let's just dive right in and figure out exactly how you can time your exercise to unlock, seriously, the best sleep of your life. And this is a huge deal. I mean, look at this number. A poll from the National Sleep Foundation found that a staggering 43% of Americans say they rarely or never get a good night's sleep. That's almost half the country just struggling to get the rest they need to even function.
So, what if the solution isn't some magic pill, but something you actually have the power to do right now? What if that daily sweat session you do holds the key? Well, the answer is a huge yes, but only if you get the timing right.
Let's be really clear about this. The connection between exercise and sleep, it isn't just some wellness trend. No, it is backed by solid, hard evidence that shows physical activity is one of the most powerful, natural tools we have to fight back against those sleepless nights.
In fact, the research is pretty black and white on this one. For long-term insomnia, behavioral strategies, and that includes exercise, are considered way better than sleeping pills. Pills just come with this whole host of risks and really aren't recommended for chronic management. So the big takeaway here is that exercise isn't just effective, it's actually safer.
So how exactly does it work its magic? Well, exercise helps you fall asleep faster, and it improves your overall sleep quality. But its real superpower is the impact it has on deep sleep. You know that good stuff? Moderate aerobic activity actually increases the amount of slow-wave sleep you get, and that is the super restorative phase where your brain and body truly repair themselves. Plus, it helps decompress the mind, which, let's be honest, is critical for naturally winding down.
Okay, so exercise is great for sleep. We've established that. But this brings us to the big question, right? The one that trips everybody up. What about working out at night? Haven't we always been told that's just a terrible idea?
This is that classic advice we've all heard a million times. The idea that any intense workout within 3 hours of bedtime is just going to rev you up and totally ruin your night. And for years, that was pretty much the final word on it.
But here's the reality check. That old advice? It was a bit of an oversimplification. New research is showing that for most of us, moderate intensity exercise in the evening is perfectly fine and can actually help you sleep. The real issue is with that super high intensity training that you finish right before you plan to hit the hay.
To really get this, we need to kind of peek under the hood and understand what's happening inside our bodies when we exercise and when we sleep. So let's dive into the science behind how this all connects. It's actually pretty cool. It all really comes down to 3 key biological systems: your core body temperature, your internal body clock, that's your circadian rhythm, and your autonomic nervous system. Let's break each one down. All right, first up, your circadian rhythm. Just think of this as your body's own internal master clock. It's deep in your brain, and it uses signals, mostly sunlight, to keep all your internal activities, like hormone release and feeling sleepy, all synced up with a 24-hour day. A healthy rhythm is absolutely crucial for knowing when to feel awake and when to start winding down.
Now let's talk temperature. This is really neat. A tough workout temporarily raises your core body temp, but afterwards, your body goes into overdrive to cool down. And this post-exercise drop in temperature, it brilliantly mimics the natural cooling process that your brain interprets as a signal that it's time for sleep. It's like this powerful built-in, go to bed now message.
And finally, your nervous system. The easiest way to think about this is like a car. Your sympathetic system is the gas pedal. It fires up for stress and exercise, jacking up your heart rate and alertness. Then you have the parasympathetic system, which is the brake pedal. It promotes rest, slows things down, and takes over when you sleep. An intense workout basically slams on the gas, so you have to give your body enough time to hit the brakes before bed.
So, now that we understand the science, how do we put it all together into a plan that actually works for you? Let's map out what the perfect workout window might look like.
This guide really makes it simple. Morning workouts, they're excellent. Any intensity works. Plus, you get that bonus sunlight to help set your body clock. Afternoon is also great. Your body's actually primed for peak performance then. But look at the evening. Low to moderate exercise like a brisk walk or some gentle yoga is actually good for sleep. The only time you really need to be careful is with that high-intensity stuff.
And that brings us to the single most important takeaway for anyone who loves an evening HIIT class or a heavy lifting session. It's the 3-hour rule. You've got to create a buffer. Finishing that intense exercise at least 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep gives your body time to cool down and your nervous system time to shift from that gas pedal over to the brake pedal.
So what does a great pre-bed workout look like?
Think relax. Think wind down. We're talking about gentle yoga, some light stretching, maybe a relaxed bike ride, or even just a slow, mindful walk. These are all fantastic options that can help lower stress and actively get your body and mind ready for rest.
But at the end of the day, while these guidelines are based on solid science, we are all wired a little differently. As Dr. Charlene Gamaldo from Johns Hopkins says, the best thing you can do is experiment. Just pay attention. Listen to your body and see what timing really works best for you.
So, the key takeaway here is that exercise is an incredible tool for sleep. The old myth about the evil evening workout is busted, and it's been replaced by a much smarter, more personalized approach. Your best night's sleep isn't about if you exercise, but how and when. It could be just one workout away, so the real question is, are you timing it right?